Welcome to another edition of the Nightly News. Good evening, Ted.
Good evening, Keith. I want everybody to know that when I get on the Nightly News, I'm rather verbose. I actually express myself unambiguously and uninhibitedly. But I want you to know that even when the camera's not going, and Keith can tell you this is how I am all the time. I'm engaged. God gave me the gift of life, and I like to share truth, logic, and common sense so that our lives can be optimal. God bless America.
You know, people ask me all the time, Ted, they said, what's Ted like when he's not in front of a camera? And I said, he's like Ted is in front of the camera. I mean,
I don't care if there's a camera. I don't care if there's an audience. I don't care if anybody's around. I'm like this with my dogs.
Right. You know, you mentioned Bruce Jenner earlier in an episode of the Nightly News, and he actually agrees with you on this topic. Transgender athletes. This is kind of a big story. There's a lady, Chelsea Michael. She's a girl runner back east. She was always known as the fastest girl in her state. She was on the fast track to set all of the state records, earn herself a college scholarship. And now she's not winning. And the reason she's not winning is boys that say they're girls are now getting to run against girls. And her complaint is it's not that she's getting beat because she says she's willing to put in the effort to make sure she can do as good as she can do. But her problem is that, follow the science, as Dr. Fauci says, the bone structure of men and women are different. The muscle mass between men and women are different. And this young girl says, quite frankly, I can't outrun the men. And one last thing, everyone's following this saga of this Pennsylvania swimmer, University of Penn, who is beating all the girls, has only lost once this year, and he lost to another man that says he's a girl at another university. And now the Penn girls themselves are coming out. Apparently they don't like, basically they say he just hangs around the locker room with his man parts hanging out. And this is a mess, Ted. What's your take on all this?
Well, you know, I was born in 1948 in Detroit when truth was truth, lies were lies, and up was up, and down was down, and good was good, and bad was bad. Common sense, truth, logic, the evidence to support our instinct to identify good over evil. This transgender atrocity is a manifestation of cultural deprivation, the likes of which I don't believe mankind has ever experienced, much less the soullessness, the rot, the evil, the mean-spiritedness, the cruelty of those that could ever support a man beating women's records, much less a biological man entering a woman's locker room or a girl's bathroom at a high school to perpetrate rape and molestation. This is happening. This is absolutely unacceptable. It is the work of Satan. It is the work of evil.
Where, Ted, are the feminists? It's just kind of sad in the NCAA. These organizations that are supposed to protect these young athletes, nowhere to be found. If it's okay for men to say they're women and compete against women, and that's okay, why do we have a men's Olympics and a women's Olympics? Why do we have men and women's sports at all? Let's just throw them on the pool and see who the best swimmer is, because that's what they're doing to these poor girls and young women.
Absolutely. And everybody knows that, Keith. Again, conscientious, empathetic, passionate, compassionate, sensible, decent human beings know that this is an atrocity. We have got to eliminate this. This is just a self-inflicted curse of pure rot being unleashed upon the American public, and I'm afraid it's going to be a global phenomenon.
The simple way to fix this is not only reach out to your elected officials, but control who your elected officials are.
Yes.
If you're not voting, you're part of the problem. And, you know, this is an election year. I encourage everyone. I'm not telling you who to vote for, but I hope you vote for candidates that support the traditional values of America: God, family, country, law and order, law enforcement, Bill of Rights, 10 Commandments. But go to huntthevote.org, huntthevote.org, and just simply make sure you're registered. There's a pledge there. Just sign a pledge and say, hey, look, I'm going to vote. I'm not going to be apathetic. I'm not going to sit on the sidelines. I'm going to vote. Do what Ted says. Get in the game. Ted, powerful stuff. Thanks again this evening. Have a good rest of your evening. And the rest of you, if you come back tomorrow, we'll have another edition of the Nightly Nuge.
God bless you, Keith. Who's going to stop me?